What if you could have everything you want? The money, the beautiful home, the healthy body, the meaningful work, the spiritual connection, the purpose, the freedom, even the ridiculously fun car you have absolutely no practical reason to need. What if none of those things have to compete? Maybe fulfillment is not about choosing between having and being. Maybe fulfillment is the frequency we experience when more of who we are gets to participate in the life we are creating. And that is what we are going to be talking about today on Infinite You. Welcome to Infinite You, amazing souls. I'm Dr. Sheri, and here on this channel, I help you move beyond limits, align with who you truly are, and consciously create more of what you want in your life: abundance, freedom, vitality, meaning, purpose, joy, whatever it is you came here to experience, whatever your soul wants to experience this time around. And if these conversations about consciousness, identity, energy, possibility, and creating a life that feels true for you resonates, go ahead, hit subscribe, hit like, and let's dive right in. I have been thinking about fulfillment, whether we sometimes make it much more complicated than it needs to be. There can be an assumption in spiritual, I think in personal growth spaces, that our desires must always represent something deeper. If you want money, perhaps you are really looking for security. If you want a beautiful home, perhaps you are searching for belonging. If you want success, maybe you want validation. And sometimes that may be true for sure. It can be helpful to understand what an external desire represents emotionally or psychologically. I totally get it. But what if sometimes you simply want the thing? What if a beautiful home would be wonderful because you love beauty? What if money would give you more freedom, more options, more experiences? What if you want to create something successful because creating it would be meaningful and exciting for its own sake? And what if a crazy fast car is not compensating for an emotional wound? What if it would just simply be really fun to drive? We are physical beings on this beautiful earth, on this playground, having physical experiences. So pleasure matters, beauty matters, fun matters, comfort matters, adventure matters. The things we create and experience in this world are a part of being alive. What if none of it is superfluous, right? So remember, not every desire is evidence that something is missing. Sometimes desire is life moving through us, just simply asking to be experienced for its own sake. I do not believe fulfillment requires us to choose between abundance and spiritual depth, or pleasure and purpose, beautiful things and meaningful contribution, individuality or connection, ambition or peace, and having more and being grateful. If we are all God's children, if we are expressions of divine creativity, why would joy, beauty, fun, imagination, abundance, play, and physical experience automatically be outside of the sacred? Maybe the sacred is not only found in sacrifice, seriousness, or transcendence. Maybe it is also present. The sacred is present in laughter, creativity, music, movement, love, beautiful spaces, travel, generosity, delicious food, driving something that makes you smile every time you start the engine. The physical world does not have to be the enemy of spiritual consciousness. It may be one of the ways consciousness experiences itself. We do not have to become less human to become more conscious. I really want that to land because I've been contemplating this for quite a long time now, right? It's not one or the other. It is not sacred and silent, right? We do not have to become less human to become more conscious. We're human. We are God's children. And I do sense that many of us are becoming less interested in creating things only to prove our worth. I think, you know, astrologically, the planets are moving in a way, our collective consciousness is moving in a way where meaning and fulfillment are becoming, front and center, I think, in our human experience, right? So I do sense that many of us are becoming less interested in creating things to only prove our worth. I think that's really what I'm getting at. It's much deeper than that. So we still want success. We still want abundance. We still want beautiful experiences, but perhaps we are becoming more conscious of what we are creating from, right? So there is a difference between saying, I need this thing to prove that I matter, and I know that I matter, and this would be joyful, meaningful, useful, beautiful, and exciting to create. So there's a difference between using success to escape yourself and allow success to express more of yourself. There is a difference between chasing money from fear and creating abundance from possibility, purpose, service, curiosity, or play. The external desire may be exactly the same, but the identity and the vibration and the consciousness behind it are very different. So conscious creation is not only about what we create, it is also about the energy, the identity, and the intention from which we create it. And there's really no judgment from the bigger picture of all that is. There's no judgment in why we do what we do and choose what we choose. I'm not talking about it in that sense. I'm talking about kind of aligning with this collective of, and we all know, right? We can have things, we all know about this. Things can begin to feel empty over time. So I'm talking about conscious creation in terms of like feeling really good and aligned and fulfilled and purposeful and having meaning behind it, right? So because, non-attachment is a thing for us humans, like from a Buddhist, I think, philosophy, right? So we all know that. So it's still about staying in that non-attachment mode and just sort of knowing, having a greater knowing and sense of consciousness from that spiritual place. Human beings are multidimensional, right? So we do have our physical needs, and we want safety and shelter and health and comfort and nourishment and enough material support to participate fully in life. And we have relational needs, and I sound like I'm talking totally about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? We have relational needs, and we want love and intimacy and belonging and friendship and connection, and we want agency. We want to feel like our choices matter and that we have some power to influence the direction of our lives. And we definitely want expression. It's so funny that I'm thinking about Maslow in terms of psychology, and I'm thinking about the chakra system in terms of energy, right? And we want expression to be able to create and speak and lead and explore and allow what is inside of us to take form, right? All that throat chakra energy. And then we want meaning. And now I feel like I'm kind of dipping back into sort of the energy of it and self-realization and the psychology of it and self-actualization. We want to know that our time here matters, that our experiences and wisdom and talents and presence contribute to something. And we know we want connection with God, with source, with higher consciousness, with the quantum field or the sacred nature of existence. It's very much a part of our human experience. And then, of course, we want to play. We want delight. We want experiences that do not need to produce anything beyond the joy of having them. So psychology gives us one lens through the ideas of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The chakra system gives us the energetic and symbolic lens from grounding and desire to power and love, expression, insight, and spiritual connection. And then human design reminds us that the combination that fulfills one person may not fulfill someone else, right? The beautiful individualism that is so much a part of this human experience, but these frameworks all point toward a similar truth. We want more of our whole being to feel present, supported, expressed, and alive in the lives we are creating. I mean, it's just so magical to me. It is just so mysterious to me. It is just such a beautiful symphony of how we create and experience ourselves as vessels, divine vessels in this human experience. So when I talk about the frequency of fulfillment, I'm talking about a felt sense of coherence. Your outer life does not have to be perfect. Every need does not have to be fully met. You will still have responsibilities and difficult emotions and uncertainty in ordinary human days, but fulfillment may feel like your life belongs to you. Your choices reflect more of what is true for you. Your desires have room to breathe. Your body, mind, heart, and soul are not constantly working against one another, that they are coherent, vibrationally coherent. That what you create supports what you say you value. You feel connected to meaning without losing your capacity for fun and laughter and joy and wonder. I just made a whole video about wonder, not worry. It's somewhere in my playlist. You feel grateful for what is here while remaining available for more. Fulfillment is not constant happiness. It is not arriving at a final destination where you never want anything again. We will always want more. The story will always continue. The story will continue long after we leave our physical bodies. But it is a deeper sense that you are participating consciously in a life that allows more of you to live. The frequency of fulfillment is the feeling that more of who you are agrees with the life that you are creating. And I also think that we can become very serious about purpose. Like, what am I here to do? What am I meant to contribute? What is the work only I can bring to the world? And those questions matter deeply to me, but perhaps purpose is not only a job, a business, a mission, or a visible contribution. Maybe part of our purpose is also just to experience this life, to love people, to be present, to create beauty, to laugh, to learn, to enjoy our physical bodies, to witness sunsets, to have conversations that change us, to make something because creating it feels alive, to receive, to play, to laugh, to experience abundance and use it generously. Maybe purpose is not only what you give to life, maybe it is also the way you allow life to move through you. And I really want to emphasize that, because as a recovering overachiever and having that little bit of a type A personality, I feel like there always had to be a goal, an endpoint, an outcome, a mission. But what if it's really about allowing life to move through you in each and every moment? And I think that this is where inner authority becomes essential, because no one else can prescribe the exact life that will fulfill you. Someone else may be fulfilled building a global company. You may be fulfilled writing, teaching, caring for people, traveling, creating a beautiful home, tending a garden, or having long stretches of time to think, right? Or, someone else may want simplicity. You may want extravagance. Someone else may want constant adventure, and you may want peace and beauty and freedom and a swimming pool. And for me, I would like a swimming pool with a bunch of corgis. Your desires do not need to make sense to everyone else. The question is whether they feel true to you, not whether they prove your worth, not whether they fit in someone else's definition of success or spirituality for that matter, not whether they look impressive. Do they feel alive to you? Do they express something real for you? Do they allow more of you to participate in your life? Fulfillment is personal because the life that allows you to feel fully alive will be uniquely yours. So I just want to leave you with 3 questions. What experiences genuinely make you feel alive, connected, and fulfilled? What desires feel true for you, even if they do not need to represent anything deeper? Where are you being invited to create with more purpose, more play, more abundance, and authenticity? You do not have to decide whether a desire is material or spiritual. You do not have to justify it. You can become curious about what it awakens in you and what part of you is asking you to participate. And if this conversation resonated with you, I would love to continue it with you through my free Infinite You newsletter. Every week I share reflections and practices to help you move beyond limits, align with who you truly are, and consciously create more of what you actually want. And I will put the link below for my Quantum Identity Playbook. And I'm also creating the Infinite You community for anyone who wants to live more expansively, to understand their energy, vibration, deepen their inner authority, move through limiting beliefs, connect with purpose, and confidently create lives that feel abundant, aligned, authentic, meaningful, fulfilling, and alive. It will be a place where we do not have to choose between consciousness and desire, purpose and pleasure, spiritual growth, and having beautiful human experiences. And there will be more on that soon. So remember, you are allowed to want meaning. You are allowed to want purpose. You are allowed to want love, vitality, freedom, abundance, beauty, and spiritual connection. And you are also allowed to want something simply because it would be fun. Maybe fulfillment is not about wanting less. Maybe it is about becoming more conscious of what truly allows your whole being to feel alive. You are not here only to achieve. You are not here only to transcend. You are a vessel. You are here to experience, to create, to love, to contribute, to play, and to discover the unique combination of having, being, giving, receiving, and becoming that feels like fulfillment to you. Thank you so much for being here, amazing souls. And until next time, keep listening for what is calling you. Keep choosing what feels true and keep becoming more of the infinite you. Namaste.